All right, I have said this a million times on my channel. There are a few teams right now in the NBA that have been more underwhelming over these last couple of seasons than the Memphis Grizzlies. Let's wind back the clocks a little bit and go all the way back to the summer of 2019. The Grizzlies officially closed out the Grind City era with Mike Conley, and we all thought they'd take years to rebuild and return to playoff contention. Instead, they immediately became a postseason level group, and Ja Morant emerged as their cornerstone piece. But there has been a lot of dysfunction since about 2022. Ja hasn't been available because of off-the-court stuff along with injuries. They fired head coach Taylor Jenkins and traded former Defensive Player of the Year Darryn Jackson. They ultimately missed the 2026 NBA playoffs, but there is a bright spot for them this summer. They're in a really good position to rebuild. For one, Cedric Coward had an impressive rookie year with Memphis last season. He was a solid scoring threat who can rebound well as a perimeter player. He also showed some amazing upside as a shooter. Now, he only made 33% of his attempts from downtown, but had some great individual games where he was red hot from distance. On top of that, they have two great picks in the draft this summer. They have the 3rd overall pick, giving them options like Darryn Peterson, Cameron Boozer, AJ DeBonsa, or Caleb Wilson. And they also have the 16th overall pick, which is another super high value spot to be in. So let's go hypothetical and say that they select Darryn Peterson at number 3, which is very likely. I think the Wizards would be more confident in getting DeBonsa due to health reasons, and there's no way the Jazz are picking Peterson with that number 2 spot, as they're already filled on the perimeter. So there's a really good chance that Peterson lands in Memphis. From there, the job would be to find an amazing backcourt mate to pair alongside with Peterson, and at that 16th spot, they should go with Bennet Stirtz from Iowa. I just couldn't imagine a better backcourt to build around than Stirtz and Peterson if the Grizzlies do decide to move Ja Morant away this summer. First and foremost, there were few guards in college basketball who operated in an NBA-like system quite like Stirtz. Iowa spaced the floor well and ran a ton of middle pick and roll offense, and he thrived there. He has amazing feel when it comes to scoring out of the pick and roll. He can get into the paint and finish around the rim, beating defenders with some creative ball handling and touch. Trying to go under screens when guarding him would be very tough, as he can make shots from distance off the bounce as well. He's simply one of the most, if not the most dangerous pick and roll ball handler in this entire class. Additionally, he's amazing when it comes to finding other teammates out of these actions. He can hit rollers or find shooters on the perimeter. Long story short, he has amazing feel for the game when the ball is in his hands. Again, on the college basketball stage, playing in a competitive conference like the Big Ten, Stirtz excelled with initiating an NBA-style offense. What you also have to love is the fact that he can play off the ball a bit, making shots off the catch. So a backcourt of him and Peterson would be perfect. As a lead guard, Stirtz could take a ton of pressure off of Peterson by handling duties as an orchestrator, and at the same time, he can work well when Peterson is setting up the offense due to his ability to space the floor and make shots off the catch. So think about it big picture. The Grizzlies have the potential to move away from the Ja Morant era by drafting a super versatile backcourt between Stirtz and Peterson who can do a ton on the offensive end. There is nothing better than drafting two guards in the top 20 who can shoot, handle the ball, and make plays for other teammates. Think about this too. If there are times where Peterson is not available due to health reasons, Stirtz is somebody who has more than enough potential to pick up the slack and keep the Grizzlies' offense well alive in his absence. Now, here's the downside. Stirtz is not a great on-ball defender. Opponents blew by him a ton last season, which could be chalked up to a few things. He's not the most physically daunting guard at 6'4", 190 pounds, and to be fair, he did carry a heavy load for Iowa, so that could explain why his defense was not amazing on the collegiate level. The dude rarely, if at all, got subbed out in the NCAA tournament, but there is potential for him as a defender. He has good IQ and fast hands, so that could be a good starting point to work on his defensive attack on the NBA level. But again, I think the idea of picking Peterson at 3 and Stirtz at 16 is very hard to pass by, given their amazing offensive upside together. And having such amazing guard play after moving away from Ja Morant Morant would be a big win for this franchise. All in all, the Grizzlies can easily walk away as the biggest winner in the NBA draft. If they can snag Peterson at that 3 spot and pair him with Stirtz, it is a super impressive backcourt that is paired with some of their active young talent like Coward, Jalen Wells, and Zach Edey. The ultimate cherry on top would be for the Grizzlies to sign another big man to back up Zach Edey off the bench, and maybe they can get somebody back in return for John Morant who can fill that sort of need. But if they can walk away with this backcourt of Bennet Stirtz and Darryn Peterson and another solid big man to bring off the reserves, I think they're in a really good spot for next season as far as a rebuilding team goes. Here's another big question about Stirtz. What is his upside in the NBA? In my humble opinion, I do believe he can become an all-star caliber guy. Now, you could be worried about his size and his physicality, but he played in a professional style offense for Iowa and thrived in that sort of offense. I find it very hard to believe that his style won't translate well over into the NBA. You just don't see as many guys come out of college who are that advanced in pick and roll, floor spacing heavy systems quite like him. So we'll see what happens, but I think the Grizzlies have an amazing chance at pairing Peterson with the biggest steal, if not the biggest, then one of the biggest steals in the 2026 NBA draft.